welcome back to Simple Living. I'm Michelle Davenport, and if you're new here, welcome. My channel revolves around everything simple. So today I just wanted to give you some simple ideas of what to use if you run out of stuff during this time of the coronavirus. That you don't always have to place an order online or run to the grocery store if you run out of some simple things. A few I'm just going to tell you about, and then some I'm going to show you. But if you run out of buttermilk, you also need to know that I'm vegan. So if you use regular milk, just apply this to regular milk. But if you run out of buttermilk, if you want to make buttermilk biscuits, or if you're very, very ambitious during this time when you have all this opportunity to be staying at home and cooking, and you need buttermilk, you just put a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending, in 1 cup of milk, whether it be alternative milk or milk, and you can just let it sit for 5 minutes and it will curl for you just like buttermilk. Brown sugar. I ran out of brown sugar the other day and I was making some cookies. Basically all that brown sugar is, y'all, is brown sugar. It's white sugar with a little bit of molasses. So it's 1 cup of regular white sugar to 1 teaspoon of molasses to make a light brown sugar. Now, if your recipe calls for dark brown sugar, you're going to want to put 1 cup of white sugar to 2 teaspoons of molasses. Just mix it up in a mixer or what? Not a blender, because that's going to lead into my next hack. Just mix it up really good, and you can use it in any recipes. Also, if you happen to need powdered sugar, all you do, most of you know some of this, but I hope I bring something new to the table. But all you do is put it in your blender, regular white sugar, and blend it until it turns to powdered sugar. You got it. And you just use it at the ratio that your recipe calls for. Also, with milk and eggs, and I don't buy the traditional milk and eggs, but I know people run out of these things. So flax egg is just, you can Google this, but it's just, all it is it can replace an egg in a recipe, and it's just I believe it's 1 tablespoon it's 3 tablespoons of flax seed, grounded, and then you add, I think it's 6 tablespoons of water. But anyway, check that online, because I'm not sure the ratio. I actually use egg substitute for mine, but you can do a flax egg, or there's so many things that you can use instead of an egg. You can use applesauce. There's an array of things. So before you just dart out to the store because you forgot something, this may help you out. Also, if you run out of chips at home, say you're just, you're sitting around, you're watching a movie with your kids or your husband or family, whatever, and you don't have any chips, you have salsa, you don't have to run to the store. Just get some, you can do some flour tortillas, or you can do corn tortillas, and just cut them in triangles and bake them in the oven about 425 with a little bit of olive oil and seasoning, maybe some chili powder or onion powder or garlic or all 3. And you can just make your homemade baked chips right there in your oven. You don't have to run to the store. And you can just make them as you need them too, if you have tortillas or corn tortillas. So those are some ideas. Also, bacon. I thought this was cool. If you run out of baking soda, I have to read this one because I don't have it memorized. You use 1 teaspoon of baking powder for every 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So if you run out of baking powder, you can use baking soda in replace of it. Baking soda is 4 times as effective than baking powder. So that's your ratio on that if you run out. And also, just be creative. Google it. We live in an age where you can just Google anything, or go on YouTube, or, go on Pinterest, and you can find out if you can substitute something before you have to leave and go to the store for 1 or 2 items. I'm going to also make it for the vegans out there. I'm going to make, the first time ever, I've been wanting to do this for a while, I'm going to make vegan half and half, because I can't find it. I think Silk has a brand out there, but it just seems like no one has nothing. So I'm going to make it. So I'll make that for you and tell you about that as I make it. And I'm also going to make vegan butter, because I'm finding that hard to find as well. So those 2 things I'm going to make for you today, and then I might make some hand sanitizer, I believe I will, out of vodka. So if you have vodka on hand, I know the 60% alcohol is just, you can't find it on the shelves or anywhere, is what I've been told. So I want to go ahead and make some of that up for you today. And then if you need regular butter, let's just say you've gone to the store, and I don't know if there's limits on regular butter, or if you're having a hard time finding it. It's not something I'm looking for, but if you are, that is simply heavy whipping cream, whipped up till it's stiff. And there you have some really delicious butter. Back in the day when I wasn't vegan, I've done that before, and it makes the best tasting butter. So you might try it and decide to never buy butter again. But so I'm gonna make those three things today on film. I'm gonna make half and half, vegan half and half. I'm also gonna make, like I said, some vegan butter, and I'm also gonna make that hand sanitizer. So I really just wanted to pop on here today to just give you some simple solutions to maybe some things you might run out of, and you don't necessarily want to run to the store or do a online order for 2 or 3 items, especially if there's a $30 limit. Then sometimes you feel obligated to order $30 worth when you just needed 2 things. And I encourage you to get creative in the kitchen and the cooking, and just take an opportunity at this time, to spend time in your word, praying, being with God, spending time with your family. Just use discernment, make sure that people, you're hanging out with or to choose to be around is not out there carelessly going on about their day and not taking precautions, because then you put yourself in harm's way as well. Of course, you want to just work in discernment and not fear, use wisdom, and just use this time to come closer as a couples, as families, and cook together, pray together, play games together, watch movies together. Just make the best of this time when so many people are going to be working from home and children out of school. You can just get so creative on what to do and how to spend time with your family. All right, let's get to those recipes. Thank you again for stopping by today. I know that was a choice. Hey y'all, I want to show you, in light of what we're going through right now with the coronavirus, I want to show you how a surgeon recommended that we wash our hands. And it's called the juggernaut. And so you just get some soap and some warm water, and you're going to hold your fingers like this. You're going to cup your fingers together like this, and you're going to rub back and forth on your fingertips like this. You see it? Cup it like this and rub back and forth like that. And then do the other hand. Get your hand and cup it and rub it back and forth, because your fingertips are what gets the most dirt and dirty. And you're going to go back and forth. And then you're going to get your thumb and go back on your thumb. And then this thumb, wash your thumb real good. And then the back of your hands. You don't really need to worry about your wrist, because that's not as important as this juggernaut move. Again, you just cup your hand like this and rub back and forth on your fingertips, and then do it again and rub back and forth, and then do your thumb and do your other thumb and go like this, back and forth, and then just rinse your hands in some warm water. And you're good to go. And that's how you wash your hands like a surgeon would. And you got clean hands, pure heart. Anyway, that's one tip that you can use during this time. Stay tuned for more. Okay, y'all, here's the hand sanitizer. So you want to use 1/3 cup of aloe vera. So you just want to use 1/3. Just squeeze that in there. Well, it's awesome. And that'll be about all I have left in this container. Okay, so 1/3 cup of aloe vera. This is how you make your hand sanitizer. You take 1/3 cup, you're gonna put it into some kind of jar. You're gonna use a funnel, and you're gonna pour that in there. You wanna make sure you get it all out of your little cup. Never thought I'd see the day that you couldn't find hand sanitizer. Anyway, you're gonna just make sure it gets in use your funnel and get it into your little container. Then you're going to add to the 1/3 cup of aloe vera. you're gonna add 2/3 cups of vodka. Now I make my homemade, I don't drink, but I make homemade vanilla. So I did buy this big thing of vodka back during the holidays to make my homemade vanilla. So luckily I still have this on hand. So you're gonna do 2/3 cups of either 60 or above rubbing alcohol, which I think has been hard to find, and you can use the vodka and use 2/3 cups of vodka, whatever you have on hand. And then this is the fun part of making it. You can use any kind of essential oils to give it some kind of scent if you prefer. I'm going to use rosemary, and I believe I'm just going to use about 10 drops. So, well, okay, 10 drops. And then you just put your little lid on. It could be a mason jar or whatever you have on hand. And then you just give it a little shake. And you have some instant hand sanitizer. You can wash it on your hands, and that aloe vera will help your hands from cracking and, But anyway, cracking and bleeding. So that's what I was trying to say. So that's just homemade hand sanitizer for you, and I'll be back with another recipe. Okay, now we're on to making some vegan butter. Super excited. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put a 1/3 cup of canola oil and 1.5 of a not 1.5, just a half, a half of a teaspoon of lemon juice. And you're gonna put it in your canola oil, and you're gonna let that sit. Hey, the next step we're going to take in making our vegan butter is we are going to add our refined coconut oil, oil, into a pot, and you're going to melt it just until it's just melted. You don't want it really hot, you just want it just melted. Okay, y'all, you're going to put your just melted coconut oil in your blender. Then you're going to add in your 1/2 cup of soy milk. And then you're going to add in your 1/3 cup of canola oil with a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then you're gonna blend this all up, and it's going to make vegan butter, just like this. There you have it. And now we're gonna pour it over into our butter molds. Here's my butter mold, and you're just going to pour your butter into your molds. Now you can use soy lecithin to keep your it from separating, but once it hardens, it's going to be fine. So, and I didn't tell you, but you leave that canola oil and 1/2 teaspoon of lemon. Let that sit for like 5 minutes. I'm going to pop this into the freezer, let it sit for 8 hours, and I'll show you the final product. Whoops. It's a lot harder to do all this with one hand. voila, there's the toast and butter. And, well, who's that? Annabelle, what you doing? She will not give up Santa Claus, y'all. She still has Santa Claus and her elf that she will not give up. She is, hey Annabelle, what you doing? What you doing? You got your baby? You got your baby? Huh? You better get that baby. That's all you gotta say to her. I'm gonna get that baby. I'm gonna get you, baby. I'm gonna get you, baby. And there she goes. Okay, y'all, time to make the vegan half and half. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put in 1 can of whole fat coconut cream, and you're gonna put that in the ice box. And you're gonna let it get hard, and then or not hard, but all the fat will come to the top, and then you're gonna measure in a cup because you want equal parts of the coconut cream and the soy milk. So you're gonna put 1 cup of that, and then you're gonna blend it with a spoon because some of it's okay. And then you're gonna do 1 cup of soy milk. Add that to it. I have been looking for half and half for a while now. So 1 cup of soy milk. And you're gonna blend on high until it's all blended. And then there you go, it's that easy. This is the brand I use, it's Trader Joe's. And you blend it up, and just like that, thank you for stopping by Simple Living. I had so much fun today making the vegan butter with you, the vegan half and half, and of course the homemade hand sanitizer. I've given you some great ideas on how to swap out and substitute different items for different things that you're going to be cooking with or baking with, and I would love it. I mean, absolutely love it if you guys would leave your swaps and your substitutes, some ideas below in the comments, and to help everybody out. Let's just come together as a community to maybe slow down the traffic in the grocery store. So anyway, again, thank you and have a great week, and I'll see you when you see ya. God bless you. Bye-bye.